If you're spending £1,500 to £2,200 monthly on London rent thinking homeownership is impossible, you're looking in the wrong places. We found 7 United Kingdom towns where total living costs stay under £700 monthly and houses sell for under £90,000. Real properties, real prices, February 2026. This requires discipline, cooking at home, smart shopping, no car. But it's achievable. While London rent averages from £2,000 to £2,200 with yearly increases, these towns offer 2 to 3 bedroom houses with £370 monthly mortgages. Here are the 7 locations letting you escape the rental trap on £700. Saving for a first home in England now means facing numbers that once belonged to a different era. The average deposit required for a first-time buyer stands at £68,000. In Greater London, the figure climbs to £151,000, more than double the national average and well beyond the reach of most working renters. These are not just distant statistics. They represent real barriers for millions, especially younger adults trying to break out of the rental cycle. The average UK house price has reached £272,000, a level that puts home ownership out of reach for anyone without family help or years of aggressive saving. For many, the idea of gathering a deposit that large feels closer to winning the lottery than to a realistic financial goal. Even with steady work, rising costs, and little chance to save after rent and bills, the gap between wages and what's needed to buy a home has never been wider. This is the landscape now, a generation locked out, watching the ladder get pulled further away each year. The numbers are not just high, they're dispiriting. For every hopeful saver, the reality is months, even years of sacrifice just to have a shot at the bottom rung. And all the while, prices keep climbing, making the target move faster than most can chase it. In this climate, the dream of home ownership feels less like a milestone and more like a mirage. Every month, millions pour their paychecks straight into rent, money that disappears forever. In the UK, the average private renter now hands over between £25,000 and £30,000 each year just to keep a roof overhead. For many, that is nearly half their income gone, with nothing to show for it at the end of the lease. The numbers are relentless. In London, rent alone can swallow more than 40% of a typical salary. Across the country, the share of households who own their home has dropped from 71% in 2003 to just 64.8% in 2024. That is not just a statistic. It means 1 million families have slipped from ownership into permanent renting in a single generation. The result is a growing class of people stuck paying ever-rising rents, unable to build any equity or plan for the future. While property values climb, the chance to own shrinks. The rental trap is not just about high prices, it is about the slow erosion of financial security and the fading promise of a place to call your own. As each year passes, the dream of home ownership drifts further out of reach for those locked into this cycle. Yet even as the pressure mounts, there are places where the numbers tell a different story. Hull sits on the edge of East Yorkshire, where 2-bedroom terraces list for £70,000 to £90,000. These are real homes, brick-fronted, close to the city centre, and often within walking distance of shops or the train station. Hull's property market has long lagged behind national averages, keeping it within reach for buyers priced out elsewhere. Burnley, in Lancashire, offers similar promise. Rows of red brick terraces, many built for mill workers, now sell for £75,000 to £88,000. The town's post-industrial history means prices have stayed low, even as the rest of the country soared. For first-time buyers, that means a chance to step onto the ladder with a fraction of the cash needed in the south. Hartlepool, on the County Durham coast, features 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom homes, regularly appearing between £70,000 and £88,000. Here, Victorian streets meet the North Sea, and the cost of ownership remains among the lowest in England. Sunderland, in Tyne and Wear, rounds out the first four. Terraces and small family homes can be found for £75,000 to £90,000. Sunderland's housing stock is shaped by its shipbuilding past, with solid, simple houses that now offer a path to ownership for those willing to look beyond the capital. These towns don't just offer shelter, they offer a shot at security in places where the numbers finally add up. Middlesbrough, in North Yorkshire, stands out as another place where the numbers still work. Terraced houses here regularly list from £80,000 to £90,000. These are homes built for workers in an earlier era, now offering a rare entry point for buyers who can't compete in overheated southern markets. Bradford in West Yorkshire follows a similar pattern. Two-bedroom homes, many within reach of the city's main transport links, appear on the market from £75,000 to £90,000. The town's housing stock reflects decades of industrial history, with sturdy brick-built terraces that continue to resist the price surges seen elsewhere. Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire completes the list. Here, two-bedroom terraces in established neighbourhoods can be found from £78,000 to £90,000, often move-in ready and requiring only basic updates. Every price mentioned comes from actual property listings and completed sales, verified against Rightmove and Land Registry data as of February 2026. These aren't fixer-uppers or auction gambles, they are homes listed as ready to occupy, with no major renovation flagged in the sales notes. The properties are ready, and the numbers are real. While the national average house price hovers near £272,000, these towns remain exceptions, holding out opportunities for those willing to look beyond the usual postcodes. The figures are current, the property's real, and the window for affordability is open now, though for how long, no one can say. What matters is that in these places, the path to ownership is backed by verifiable numbers, not wishful thinking. A strict £700 monthly budget in these towns means every pound is counted and tracked. Mortgage payments on an £85,000 house with a £12,000 deposit land between £370 and £400 each month, depending on the rate secured and term agreed. Council tax, usually band A in these areas, adds another £100 to £120. Utilities, gas, electric, water and broadband can be kept to £100 to £120 with careful use. Heating off when out, short showers, LED bulbs in every socket. Food shopping, limited to Aldi or Lidl and cooking every meal at home, comes in at £150 to £170. Transport is paired to the essentials, a bus pass not a car, for £40 to £60 monthly. Altogether, the total hovers just under £700. There is no room for impulse buys or takeaway dinners, but the maths holds. For someone who once watched rent drain their bank account, this ledger is a different kind of statement, a blueprint for building equity, not just surviving the month. Start by setting a strict filter on Rightmove or Zoopla. Set the price range from £70,000 to £90,000, require 2 or more bedrooms, and search in the 7 target towns. Ignore anything needing major work. Look for listings marked as move-in ready. Next, set a savings goal, £12,000 to £15,000, for your deposit and basic fees. That deposit unlocks better mortgage rates and keeps monthly costs lower. That is the minimum needed to unlock the lowest mortgage rates and keep monthly mortgage payments around £370 to £400 a month. Think of this as the mortgage baseline. Before viewing any property, get a mortgage agreement in principle from a lender or broker. An agreement in principle proves you are serious and helps avoid heartbreak later. Take a weekend to visit the area. Walk the streets in the morning and in the evening, check bus stops and talk to shop owners. Then run a 3-month test. Live on £700 a month while still renting. Track every expense, cut out car use and cook every meal at home. If it works, you are ready. The payoff is real. Owning an £85,000 house in Hull or Burnley, while your old London rent would have cost £25,000 a year, changes everything. Over 5 years, that is £210,000 in wealth difference. Equity built instead of money lost. Today, the gap between average wages and house prices has never been wider, yet options still exist for those willing to choose differently. As the rental trap tightens, every disciplined decision counts. Homeownership isn't extinct, it just moved. The question is, will you follow? Share your thoughts below.